minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes as printed.
Can you let me finish? The minutes for approval on November 13th, 2018, and December 11th, 2018.
Motion to approve as printed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We don't have any meeting now, no appointments. So we're going to call the first case. This is a case that's been continued since, I believe, August 2018.08.07B. This is a continuation on the case of Mr. Kevin Payne of 561 Main Street, Acushnet, who is requesting a special permit to be able to open and operate a hunting, fishing, and firearms retail store located at his 561 Main Street property. This request is being made under the provisions of Article 8, Section 3.3.1B11. Mr. Payne, or a
Yes.
representative,
Just myself? Yep.
get up to the podium.
I'm just waiting to hear from, I guess, the decision. I was told that the meeting was postponed till now, so.
Mr. Payne, this is the fourth time this case has been continued. It was continued from August till October, from October to November, November till December, December till March, March till now. I'm sorry, February till, was that 12/11 was the last time we met, right? So from December till now. So this is the fourth time this case has been on a continuation.
The first couple of times was due to my car accident. I was in the hospital for quite some time.
Once it was you, once it was your attorney was out of town, once the Aguirre's
That is correct.
petition, you sent a letter to the town clerk. Have you provided the town clerk with any information that we requested from you since August?
What
Site
info-
plan, parking plan, lighting plan?
Yes.
You've given us absolutely no information on this case whatsoever in almost 6 months.
Oh, I didn't think that was, like,
Yeah.
depending whether I got permission to do something or not. I mean, obviously, whatever the lighting provisions or the parking, obviously through the building department, all he stated to me was that I was gonna have to put an island in the middle. I had to have an entrance, a means of egress, and a means of ingress.
Okay?
That's
So-
all he described, other than a few things in the building that need to be finished, that's all I was told.
So how are we as a board supposed to vote on this when we have absolutely no information from you?
Well, again,
I requested this personally at the last meeting I was at. And I stated every one of these, a site plan, a parking plan, a lighting plan, and whether or not you're gonna put any fencing or arborvitae's for the neighbors so they didn't have to deal with the lighting or the noise. You have provided this board with absolutely zero information.
well, I truly believe that wasn't relevant in getting permission to even do something. In other words, if it was something where it was needed, like if I needed whatever additional lighting by code, then I would do whatever
Mr. Chairman.
is required by code.
Just, again, I'm reading through it, I wasn't at the last meeting. You at the last meeting asked for this information, he got it in writing, he knows we're looking for this stuff?
Absolutely.
And
I
you
would-
don't have,
The meeting that I was at was not the last meeting, because
Okay.
I couldn't make the December meeting, but the meeting prior to that,
November.
on November, I specifically stated, and I could get the minutes if you want me to get the
Did we
minutes
send-
approved.
It's in our minutes, did we
It's in our
send
minutes.
something, or did he have a representative there that knew we needed this information?
Yeah, it was probably.
Okay. And we haven't gotten any of that yet?
Okay, no, I don't know if there was miscommunication on my part, but I was unaware that that was needed just for you to allow, you know what I mean, to have a business placed there. I know there are restrictions, whether it be the building or whatever, parking codes or whatever those are. I understand there was some which I briefly discussed with Jimmy Minow.
Merritt.
But
But your discussion with Jimmy as the building inspector has no bearing on this meeting for your special permit. Your special permit relies on you to submit paperwork and information about a business you're trying to start up, so you can receive a special permit from this board. Without any information, We can't decide anything.
Well, I gave you a picture of the building. I even
But
stated,
we asked for all of that. I asked, show us
I gave you that a
where,
long time ago.
a picture of the building is not a parking plan, a lighting plan. It doesn't have anything to do with site plan. How big, I even definitively asked you to give us specific locations in the building. The building plan is show where the store was gonna be.
Which I did, I pointed out, it was,
Again, I apologize, I'm coming late to the party, I didn't make the last couple meetings, but in the file that she just gave me, there's a parking plan. Maybe because you and I missed the last one, we didn't
That was
see
in the
that
Was this-
original-
was
paperwork.
That was from the original meeting, back in August.
way,
That's
way in
that
the,
whole,
in
that's
the
the whole
beginning.
file from the beginning.
See, I don't think I even got this.
I think that's probably part of the issue, is because he wasn't here to represent himself on the first meeting. A lot of that stuff might not have,
Mr. Chairman, the plan you're looking at, just so you know, is a 2006 plan from a previous application for
Okay.
a special permit by Mr. Payne. It's not for this application.
okay.
That's
Thank
the
you.
date. 7/14/2006. This was submitted for a previous business.
For the same room, same everything, same building, same spot, same everything.
We asked for dimensionals of the space that was gonna be occupied. I mean, there was a lot of other stuff you had to go through, but you need to get your special permit. In order to get your special permit, you need to submit paperwork that we can understand. Any other members that have anything to say?
This is from a 2006 drawing, but it was resubmitted in May 2018. That was for another variance?
In 2006, Mr. Payne filed a special permit to put a Realtor's office and a storefront church within the building. Submitted that plan. He actually got a special permit at that time. But what you'll see is, and I have a copy of it for you, the special permit addressed the parking concerns that the chairman is expressing, because on that plan, he has parking in the front, and a condition of the special permit was parking to be in the rear.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even issued in accordance with that plan, which was not accepted by this board.
The parking wasn't accepted.
That's correct. Among other, there were several conditions, one of which, I have a copy of that decision for you if you'd like,
Okay.
that says that the parking has to be in the rear, because frankly, there's just not enough room.
Could you introduce yourself?
I will. I'm sorry. I'm Richard Manning. I'm an attorney in New Bedford, and I represent the Aguirres who are at 553 Main Street, who are direct abutters on the left-hand side of the property when you're facing it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All they requested was a back. It wasn't just parking in the rear. They didn't say that I couldn't park in the front. They just wanted additional parking in the rear.
If I could interject again, it actually says, number 4, parking will be in the rear as shown on the plan. And it also says the front parking area will be eliminated and replaced with appropriate landscaping. That's the 2006 decision on a special permit that plan was submitted for. So I beg to differ from Mr. Payne. Not only was it all parking in the rear, but he was to eliminate parking, any possibility of parking in front.
Thank you. Apologize for going to you, you have more information than I do. The special permit that you're referring to allowed some business there? Has that business started?
He never acted on it. If you want, I could give you, I brought copies of it for you.
I probably have it in here, but again, just because you're more up to date on it than I am, I'm going through you at the
The
moment.
original special permit is in his
These are the stipulations on the 2006 special permit, which was allowed, subject to these conditions. To our knowledge, it was never acted upon. Those businesses never came to fruition in the property.
This suggests that the parking will be in the rear as shown on the plan. Lighting in the rear parking lot will not exceed 6 feet in height. The front parking area will be eliminated and replaced with appropriate landscaping. That was the stipulations on the vote that was taken for the previous business that never, I guess it never started. Business signs. We don't have a sign location. What kind of a sign you're gonna have? We have absolutely I have absolutely nothing to see what you're gonna try to do there. And without that information, I can't vote to support this. I mean, this has been kicked down the road, this can's been kicked down the road since August. It doesn't sound like you're in a big hurry to get this done.
Oh, I gotta wait every 2 years in order to apply again every time I get denied.
Well, we could have made a decision a long time ago if you brought us the information I requested.
This, it sounds like this case, back in 2006, allowed you to use space A and B.
Yep.
Yeah,
And there was a daycare going in there. It was actually a daycare that was going in there. And they started doing whatever miscellaneous stuff, which they brought up the paperwork prior to one of the other meetings about a stop work order that was placed on that building. It wasn't because of my doings, it was because of the people that were moving into the daycare. They, I actually complained because they weren't using pressure treated against the cement, sorry. And then, next thing you know, I spoke to the building department, and he went down and put a stop work order. It wasn't placed on me, it was placed on them,
On the
but it
construction,
was on the building,
on
yeah.
the construction.
So that's why it never went through. They were trying to do things very cheaply, I guess, or incorrectly. So it was, never fell through.
Were these spaces, A, B, C, and D, are they actually divided in that building now? Are
Yeah,
there walls
they have
there?
always, they have been,
They have been.
yeah, for many
That was
years.
the only one,
That
yeah.
part was, that was done prior to this?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yep,
It's just the way the building was when you got it.
correct. They were just doing some additional things to where it just wasn't up to code.
So you're now,
I'm just trying
A
to,
and B is not gonna be used, D's not gonna be used, E's not gonna be used. You're just looking to open up one business in this C
Correct.
section of the building.
that is correct.
Well, I think we have a building design, we have a determination back then that we could use these. So I think we could easily take away A, B, D, and E and look at C, knowing we have enough parking. But I'd like to also hear from people who are obviously here to
The letters.
to agree, the butters. There's issues there, so let's,
Okay, so why don't you,
I think I've heard enough for a minute from
Okay.
Mr. Dan.
does, Mrs. Aguirre, you want to speak, or do you want your attorney to speak?
I'll let my attorney speak. Thank you.
Okay.
Again, Mr. Chairman, my name is Richard Manning. I'm the attorney representing the Aguirres. I concur with your opening comments. It's been my understanding that this hearing has been continued numerous occasions for the sole purpose of Mr. Payne bringing in a plan to show this board what he intends to do there. One of the crucial elements, or one of the additional elements of the section B11 special permit is that he has to show adequate off-street parking in locations which would not result in traffic congestion or hazard. You have nothing before you upon which you can make that determination. He can't rely upon a 2006 plan that he used now, 13 years ago, which was actually rejected by this board when they made all parking be in the rear. It's hard for us to comment on his plans when his plans have not yet been codified. Mr. Payne was a bit confused about the history of his own property. Let me give you a little bit of enlightenment. In 2006, his proposal, as it says right on there, was a realtor's office and some type of a church in two of the units. That special permit was allowed with those conditions that I presented to you. He never acted on that permit. In 2010, he represented to some other couple that he had the place permitted for their business of operating a daycare. They went in and started doing work. The operations were stopped. Mr. Payne was sued by that couple due to his misrepresentations regarding the permitting of the building. In 2012, he came before this board. Now he was going to use it because he'd been written up by the building inspector for stockpiling materials on the property, and he was gonna use it as a base of operations for some type of a construction business. That special permit was denied. Now he's here in 19, wants to use, I guess, just Unit C for the gun shop. Again, without his plans, it's hard to comment. You have to determine whether this is in harmony with the neighborhood and whether it benefits and is a welfare to the residents of Acushnet. How can we comment as direct abutters on his plan when we don't know the issues you pointed out, Mr. Chairman? We don't know what he's proposing for lighting, exterior lighting on the building, for signage. Where is the signage going to be located? Is it interior illumination or exterior? Is it illuminated at all? What's the size of it to be? Where's it going to be located? Is he going to put some type of a buffer, such as you suggested, fencing or arborvitae's, so that these the issues people going in and out are not going to be a disturbance to the neighborhood? What's his hours of operation? Where are people going to park? Where are deliveries going to be made? When are deliveries going to be made? There's an abundance of issues that he needs to address for us to be able to reply. It's giving you nothing. I have specific comments about these things, but without knowing the proposal, I can't comment on it. Our main concern, one of the major concerns, is the parking and the egress and ingress into this property. If you look at that plan as they originally proposed it, it's virtually impossible for delivery trucks to go in there and be able to turn about. There's 24 feet in between the allotted parking spaces. How, for instance, is a FedEx truck going to drive in there, be able to maneuver in, out, and get out safely? If you have two means of egress, which that shows, but there's only one way that the cars can go. If there's another car, you're gonna have cars going in and out the same side, some taking a left, some taking a right, maybe a FedEx truck on a very busy part of Main Street. We can't comment on it because we don't know if that's what he's proposing to do. And our suggestion was going to be parking in the rear, as this board has already determined would be a safe, feasible means to be accomplished. But again, you have no proposal before you. I would submit, Mr. Chair, that this board has been incredibly patient with Mr. Payne and given him every opportunity by which to present it. If he didn't understand when you directly told him the things that were needed, especially where he had counsel. Now, I had conversations with his attorney that this hearing had been continued so he could submit a site plan. Where is the site plan? We have nothing to comment on, and neither do you. And based upon that, I would submit that you should deny his appeal today for failing to prosecute it and provide you with the information you need.
Anybody got any questions?
Excuse me.
Thank you.
I think we're wasting enough time on this particular case, Paul. I'd like to make a motion to turn down the request.
You're making a motion to deny.
Yes.
Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Oh, second, okay.
All those in favor of denying the special permit for Mr. Payne for lack of paperwork, or for whatever the only reason might be, please signify by raising your right hand, please. It's unanimous. Mr. Payne, your petition's been denied. Amanda's got a paper for you to sign over here.
Excuse me.
For the record, Mr. Payne, there's a 20-day waiting period. Anybody can appeal our decision to a Superior Court judge,
Sign the bond, both of them, please.
and they could overturn our decision.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's it. And that one is yours.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you. Sign these now. So so we don't forget.
Against, nope.
Wasn't there an approval or a denial?
That was up at the clerk's office?
Is it still up there?
No, I think we brought it to the next meeting.
I
think we
didn't come to
decided
that meeting
just do
until
that. Okay.
December.
Then I'll pull it, because it's,
If it's got enough signatures on it, that's fine.
I'll double check on that. It should, but I'll double check on it. But it's already
I hate
filed
to
with
be
Pam's
against small
office.
business in town, but the guy didn't give you any.
Oh, no, we wasted a lot of time, and he had more than enough time to get everything together.
Good. We're gonna move on to the next case.
That was for the case, right, not minutes?
This is for the case, yes.
Double, yeah. Just wanna
Yeah.
make sure I'm not signing the minutes for the.
No.
What's that?
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the next case, 2019.03.12A. It's a hearing on the case of Mr. Mark Cordera of 873 Main Street, Acushnet, who is requesting a special permit to be able to construct an accessory apartment located at his 873 Main Street property. This request is being made under the provisions of Section 3.3.1, Section B1, accessory apartment. Mr. Cordera, or a representative thereof. Come on up and state your case.
I have a couple of, my father-in-law lives out in Florida, is looking to just have a seasonal place up here with our family, just a couple months out of the year, and we're hoping to do an in-law essentially to the back of the property. So I have a single-car garage right now with plans on adding a second garage stall, and then having the in-law go backwards, put the back of the property off that on the same level.
It looks like you, I don't really know if this is a letter of denial, because it's for a special permit, so.
Yeah, good idea.
So from the building department, actually this is from the Board of Health, so.
Oh, yeah.
Did you receive this letter from the Board of Health?
I believe so, yes.
This is what they're gonna require you to do. The special permit request for accessory apartment at 873 Main Street is a subsurface sewage disposal system. For this home is designed for 3 bedrooms. The addition of the accessory apartment will add another bedroom. Therefore, the existing system would need to be upgraded and enlarged to handle the additional flow. Any multifamily home is required to have a 2-compartment septic tank or two septic tanks in series. The new system will need to be permitted and installed by a licensed septic installer, inspected and certificate of compliance issued. So you received this letter from the Board of Health, you realize that
Where at expense?
Yeah.
it's gonna cost a couple of bucks to get that straightened out. Now,
Do you have a copy of the
That
septic
actually
plan? The new
puts him
septic
ahead.
plan?
That's something that doesn't have to be done for us here, but he's already gone out and realizes that, so.
right, what we're gonna vote on tonight is a special permit for an accessory apartment. Once we vote on it tonight, if it's approved, then you have to follow through the regulations through the Board of Health and the building department, where Jim is gonna oversee if it's approved. And he'll make sure that he's in touch with the Board of Health, so we don't even get involved with anything anymore. We used to do that in the past, where we had to go and build the apartment, and then we go, the building inspector would look at it, and then come back and say, it's all right. We've gotten past that stuff now, so upgrade the septic system.
Yes.
Okay. And then the building department says that it complies with the 25% of the existing structure. The proposed addition is 705 square feet. When added to the existing dwelling, which has a finished area of 2527, would allow an accessory apartment of 808. This is in compliance with the zoning regulations. So the building department already looked at the square footage. There's no problem with him. As long as you build it to the plan, I guess, that you submitted to him,
Yeah, yes.
it meets all the criteria. So with that said, does anybody have any questions?
Just looking at the lot plans, looks like he's got 17 feet. I don't see any any issues. Again, it's a special permit, not a variance. It sounds like he's all in compliance, so I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor of approving the applicants for a special permit for an accessory apartment, please signify by raising your right hand. It's unanimous. Amanda's got a paper for you to sign over here.
Okay, thank you.
Not that one. And you just sign.
It'll be that easy.
Yeah. Well, a nice plan. Know what you're gonna get. That's all you need, right?
Can you sign the bottom of both of
You
those
don't have
for
to
me,
guess what
please?
he's gonna do.
Thanks.
That's the difference.
Yep.
It will be 20
This
days
one?
before
You're all
I can
set.
apply for the permit.
It's a
Okay.
20-day
All the
waiting period.
instructions are right on there as far as.
After 20 days, you can come back and see Jim Merritt with your, if you've submitted building plans, and he can issue a building permit after the 20-day waiting period, if nobody's appealed. Okay. All right?
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Got a minute or two?
Is that yours?
I didn't get the clock thing, but now I get it. It's not the hour. The hour is in minutes. I think I can take care of that.
Leave it, don't worry about
I'll
it.
give it a shot.
You need a ladder, you got a ladder?
I got a chair.
Huh?
Okay, does anybody have any old business they'd like to discuss?
I still want to raise.
Does anybody have any new,
You can have twice as much as you made. How's that? Double your pay.
does anybody have any new business they'd like to discuss?
I want to raise.
Okay, without any more,
All fixed.
You don't have anything for next month, do we? Not as of yet?
we're quiet? Cool. Okay, without any further business before the board, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.